After my brother fell on Hoth, I fulfilled the destiny that he could not. Now I am a Jedi.
I'm very deeply saddened by the passing of Carrie Fisher. She had heart complications on a plane and they took her to hospital, and it was a shock, her loss, her sudden passing. And I want to say that my thoughts and prayers go out to her friends, her family, and of course the fans. So many people loved and supported her. And I wanted to make a tribute video from the heart, just talking honestly about how she affected me, Star Wars fans, and basically also to thank you, because I couldn't believe it. I had family, friends, and you guys just reach out to me. My dad said to me yesterday, are you coming up for New Year's Eve? By the way, I'm sorry for Carrie Fisher's passing. Mum ran into my room when she found out, woke me up and said, did you hear about Carrie Fisher? I'm sorry. My brother, everybody was just hitting me with this. And I felt, I don't want to say like an imposter, but just like, I don't deserve any of this well-wishing. It's hard, and yes, I love her and her career, but I didn't know her personally. But I was also very grateful for the support. I was like, this affects me, but this is about her. And she was a great person who was intensely honest, and she really represented to me and hopefully the community courage. She had bipolar, and she was very vocal about that, and said basically that, people shouldn't be ashamed for bipolar, a mental illness really try and beat you down. You should be proud that you stand up in the face of it, Also the fact that she was over-sexualized in the Star Wars universe back in the 80s. I didn't really feel it because, to be honest, as a kid, I just saw her character as strong. She was stronger than Luke the whole time. She's strong, even the bikini. She killed Jabba. It wasn't by choice, but the actor behind it, Carrie Fisher, being so vocal and intensely spirited, saying, look, beauty fades. It's all an illusion. You should be proud of who you are, and intensely so. And all these people who hide behind the gloss and veneer of Hollywood with this PR talk, she was real. She took actually a funny story. My friend met her in a Star Wars celebration, and she saw her dog Gary, and Gary took a poop on the ground. And the girl, I don't even know how you'd say this to Carrie Fisher, said, "Are you going to grab that?" She's like, nah. No, they got people for that here. Like, she was just so blasé. She's like, look, I'm Carrie Fisher. I'm celebrating celebrity, but, probably in her contract, if she shows up to a celebration, she's going to have somebody clean up Gary's poop, which was absolutely hilarious. Just that blasé type of attitude. But also, I think the human element of, she put her relationships first. You could see how much she intensely cared for Gary. And when people tried to force her into a press junket, she was going to be herself no matter what. I think overall, because she contrasted Hollywood so much, was the fact that she really pioneered the way for a lot of young girls. Like, even let's say Daisy Ridley. She gave Daisy Ridley advice about not getting into, basically metal space underwear, but also the fact that you can just be a female and be yourself. Don't buy into this beauty stuff. Take yourself seriously, because Carrie Fisher spoke about how Harrison Ford, when he was on set of Star Wars, would, change lines, and George Lucas would listen to him, and she felt in awe of that. She was like, I couldn't do that. She wanted to be at that position, and she found that inner strength. But I feel like it, with all of the problems that she had throughout her life, whether it was substance abuse, dealing with mental illness, and then overcoming it, and then obviously carrying that burden, she found at a center that she had to be herself, and that was the only true way expression of happiness. And I just don't think that most people are there, to be honest. You're so ahead of the curve, and we're all catching up. To be yourself is what YouTubers generally, well, fingers crossed, genuinely most of them do that. That is how people connect across the board. And Carrie Fisher was doing that before it was actually happening. Hollywood still doesn't do that. You see Tom Cruise, and this is just an example, in an interview, he's going to be Tom Cruise PR version, and then slowly but surely they're putting celebrities in carpools, they're making them dance, they're trying to make them more personable. The Rock is the highest paid actor in Hollywood because of his social following. To be honest, that's why The Rock, he was an early adopter. Carrie Fisher, didn't do any of that to please anybody. She did it because she knew that was right. She knew that that is how she wanted to live her life on her own terms. And it is something that I'm intensely proud of and I take strength from. And I used to really love the comedy and the insight she would give. And I tell you what, I used to read her tweets. They were like hieroglyphs. And I'd be like, man, these are gems, but it's taken me 7 minutes to figure out what she was saying. So outside of that, I cannot claim to know her as a human being, but from what I glimpsed, she seemed like a phenomenal person that taught us all so many lessons and will continue to do so. But I think it's going to be incredibly difficult to see Star Wars Episode 8. A lot of people reached out and said, I don't want a digital Carrie in 8 or 9. I think it's too early to discuss that. I'm sure Star Wars will handle it, or Disney will handle it with care, but I'm more concerned about her friends and family and, you know, people who care about her outside of the character at this point. You know, a couple of weeks, month, I don't care. They'll figure all that stuff out. Don't worry about that. Just take time to reflect on who she was, try and take something positive from her life, and then send the love back, or send the love back to somebody that's close to you, you know? Because the beauty of this video is it's just the start of the discussion. I am very happy that I used some Force Unleashed footage of her versus Starkiller. I know that's wrong that Starkiller beat her, but hey, you know, I thought that it'd be cool because I always wanted to see her as a Jedi deep down. But if you love Star Wars, let me know what you gathered, I can't even think at the moment, from Carrie Fisher, what you've learned from her and how she touched you. Because if you love Star Wars, I want to talk to you about it. It's as simple as that, my friends. If you want to stay up to date with the latest Star Wars videos on origins, games, and theories, don't forget to use those force powers of yours and hit subscribe. And hey, leave a comment below about what you want to see in future videos. It may just get covered. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Always.